Kia ora, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to the BlackOut series, proudly brought to you by Black creatives out there. My name is Diane Wesh, and I'm honored to be your host for this series, which will be held every Sunday for the next 12 weeks. I hail from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm the proud product of tough Haitian immigrants. I'm also an inclusive marketing consultant and the founder of Got Blacklisted. As y'all know, we're not here to sugarcoat the hard stuff, but rather to share our stories, our collective truths. We'll dive deep into art, COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and more. Please keep in mind that Black Creatives Out There Aroa is not a mental health provider, but rather a community of Black creatives aiming to elevate the Black consciousness. Interviews are normally 30 minutes, but on certain occasions, they'll run up to 45. So be sure to drop your questions in the comments below. And now, allow me to welcome our guest this afternoon. Based in Auckland, Mez Tekeste hails from Sudan. He's one of the organizers of the Auckland Black Lives Matter protest and a rising star in the Kiwi music scene. Welcome, Mez. Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Salam, salam. Mez Baralo. Mez Dawi Tekeste next to me. Blessings, bro. Nice to meet you, like everybody that's here. And for Diane, I just wanted to appreciate you for holding this space for us to have this conversation.
Yeah.
You have such a kind face, so it's nice to look at.
Thank you so much, Mez. Thank you for that. I'm super excited to get this conversation started. But before we jump into all the questions, I just want to say that I really enjoyed your Instagram post about the shaving of your head. Can we just give our viewers just a little glimpse of that and what that represents to you?
Sure.
Your hair grows so fast. It grows so fast already.
Yeah, it does, man. It does. It does. I cut my hair because I don't know, man. This last couple of years has been like very rapid growth, very rapid changes within myself. I've been through a lot. I like when I say that, I mean, I always see pain in people, and I thought it's just people, but I realized everyone's just a reflection of me, and I'm just recognizing the pain within myself. I've been through a lot, and throughout that process of being broken, I'd forgotten who I was, and so I think I've been just going through this process of remembrance, a process of knowing who I am, figuring out who I am, finding who I am. And I think a part of that process was really detaching from my sense of, what identifies me, how I identify myself. My hairstyle was something I was super, super attached to. I've always had braids or cornrows or flat tops and afros. And for the first time in my life, I just decided, hey man, if I'm going to learn this process of finding myself and loving myself, then I should probably do it as my entire actual self with nothing. No extras,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Definitely looks great on you. If you just give me one moment, seems like they're having some technical difficulties. Does not seem like.
Where's this video? I want to share the live. Where's it live?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on Black Creatives Out There Raw, and it seems like I'm getting a message saying we're not on Facebook Live, but
yeah, no, not at all.
I did this whole thing.
So does that mean we'll start?
Yeah, we have to start again. I'm so sorry. I thought because I hit live on Facebook, and I don't know why it didn't automatically do that. So let's.
No problem.
Let me see. I wonder if something happened when I hit live and then I hit record as well. And so maybe that's something.
Yeah.
Everyone's probably like, oh my gosh, you're late, but we just did the whole interview.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. We're starting from scratch, huh?
Yeah, starting from scratch. But you know, I'm not gonna do the music and everything. I'm probably not gonna do all of that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with the beanie back on, eh?
Yeah.
I'd help. I'd give you advice, but I have no idea I don't know how it works. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Do you want me to? I'll make a phone call because my best friend does this all the time.
Yeah,
I'll make a phone call.
thanks. You know, I was not having this much trouble the first one we did. So.
Yeah, look, no big deal. I got you. Make them wait. Oh,
I think, are we live now yet?
I think it's on.
Okay,
Yeah,
sweet.
I think it's working now.
All right, man. Well, let's get started again. Kia ora, everyone, and thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the BlackOut series, proudly brought to you by Black creatives out there, Aroa. My name is Diane Wesh, and I'm super honored to hold this space and to be your host for this series, which will be held every Sunday for the next 12 weeks. I hail from Virginia Beach, and I'm the proud product of tough Haitian immigrants. I'm also an inclusive marketing consultant and the founder of Got Blacklisted. As you all know, we're not here to sugarcoat the hard stuff, but rather to share our stories, our collective truths. We'll dive deep into art, COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and more. Please keep in mind that Black Creatives Out There Aroa is not a mental health provider, but rather a community of Black creatives creating space to elevate the Black consciousness. Interviews are normally 30 minutes, but on certain occasions, they will last up to 45 minutes. So if you have any questions, please be sure to drop them in the comments section below. And now, allow me to reintroduce our guest this afternoon. Based in Auckland, Mez Tekeste hails from Sudan. He's one of the organizers of the Auckland Black Lives Matter protests and a rising star in the Kiwi music scene. Welcome, Mez. Thank you so much for being here today. We would love for you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Salam, salam. Mez Tekeste balalo. Thank you for holding space for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mez, before we jump in today to this combo, I just want to say that I really admired your Instagram posts. I really admired the shaving of the head because I went through a similar process back in 2018. Yeah. And can you just let our viewers know what this represents for you?
I've been going through a lot of changes, and one of the main things I'm focusing on over the past year is just self realization, self awareness. Who am I? I've been through quite a bit from my upbringing. I've gone through quite a lot, and that pain and that breaking me being broken process really made me create these walls and identities around my inner child to protect that inner child. And those identities became who I am, who I was, but it's not who I am. And so I think a part of that shedding process was just me just really needing to detach from stuff. You know, like I've always been super attached to my hair. You know, my afros, my flat tops, my cornrows, my braids, and they were always giving me a sense of worth or a sense of self. But yeah, I just felt like if I really wanted to love myself and be my entire self, then yeah, I just needed to get rid of it.
And that's so amazing to hear. Your hair is growing so fast already.
It's buzzy. I'm gonna keep shaving. I'm gonna take it back down to 0. I'll just keep shaving it.
That's great.
Well, I've earned it. I want to earn it. Like I want the new hair that grows to grow in an environment of just full love and self-awareness. You know, I don't want it to. My hair was so unhealthy. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so great to hear. And so I know you're about to release your new single called War Crime. But before we jump into that, can you just fill us in on how you got involved with organizing the Black Lives Matter protest here in Auckland?
I just woke up that Sunday, the day before it happened, and I was just like, man, I obviously there was quite a thick heaviness in the air just from everything that had been going on. But a lot of my family members and friends and yeah, a lot of people were just broken by it. And New Zealand wasn't really, it's not like how it is now. Like we were very unseen, you know, very, very unseen. Like you're very visible and invisible because you're in a room, we stand out, you know, like we're distinct. But when it comes to like our plight or our issues, no one really knows we're here. And so I just decided to maybe hit 2 birds with 1 stone, you know, just like show our people like there are people here who actually give a damn, you know, there are people here who actually care about us, and then to show them that we're actually here, you know, that was the whole intention behind it. And I just woke up and I called my sister because Lulu's been, excuse me, she's been very like active, you know. I wouldn't call myself an activist. I just stand up when it's important. Like I stand up when I know that I have to. But yeah, I just called her up and I called Hugh and I was just like, hey guys, we should do this. We should really do it. And the conversations happened. It was kind of like, cool, we'll do it in a couple of weeks. We'll do it next week. And I was just like, no, I'm telling you, bro, this is the Holy Spirit, man. It needs to happen tomorrow. Like, and everyone thought I was crazy for it. But, you know, thank God that we listened to each other and we worked together and we brought in a team. We brought in Alicia and even Shalane from your camp. We had Shalane come through and Shelly. And we just in Jordanos, and we just sat down together over like 6 hours at my house that Sunday night. And we just planned it all and it just came out of nowhere. It just honestly came out of nowhere. But I just felt a calling and I put the team together. That's all I did. I'm actually not, like there's much more people that deserve the credit for what happened. And that's people like Alicia, people like Lulu, people like Shalane behind the scenes is like, you know, the backbone of a lot of the stuff that we do. So yeah, I just think there's other people out there that deserve more credit than me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great to hear you say that. And how did it make you feel to see the turnout? Were you expecting like that turnout to be what it was?
I mean, like, I won't lie, nah, not really. But in retrospect, like, because in life, I always have these, like, I call it, I don't know, it's just, honestly, it's the Holy Spirit. Like, I feel things, you know, sometimes. And there was this urge to really do that, to do what we did. And so I wasn't prepared for what happened, but when it happened, I wasn't shocked. I was just like, yep, this was that feeling. Like, you know, it's cool. It was really, really cool. The numbers were crazy. The mobilization of our communities was immense. Like I haven't seen anything like that for a long time. So I just thought, yeah, it was really powerful, man. But like I said, you know, all praise to the Most High, man. It's not us. We're just vessels, you know. We're being used for the greater picture. And I mean, for me, even like when I look at the whole construct of BLM and what was going on, I think there was, for the bigger picture, like, yeah, we probably didn't like end racism, you know. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But I think just in New Zealand alone, the camaraderie that we've created between Indigenous and cultural minorities, the unity we created between, let's even call it white people and Black people, because honestly, there was such a, like, for me being in the middle, because I've grown up a lot of, you know, I've got a lot of my managers white, my best friends white, my fiance is white. Like, you know, I've got so much white people in my life, and I don't see them as different. We're just family. You know, however, I understand that when I talk to my cousins sometimes, anytime we talk about a white person, the energy is very intense, you know, and I just really wanted to just bridge that and not have that kind of energy in the air in New Zealand. And I feel like we accomplished it, man. I've seen a different energy in my people, in the way that we stand, in the way that we talk, in the way that we present ourselves in public. There's much more mana in our words now, and people are actually listening. And so I think we accomplished what we wanted to. Yeah.
That's so great to hear. And I can honestly say from a personal perspective, being Black American, that when I went, the turnout was insane. And I was just so overjoyed by that. I even had like my Black American friends from the States just like rooting for everyone in New Zealand, like, man, this is solidarity, like to the highest. And so definitely super grateful for that. Can you explain how holding this space, especially being such a peaceful protest and so very well organized, how did that open doors for you regarding, you know, the youth work that you're currently doing, the music that's coming up?
Sure. So I've always been passionate in the field of just like humans, like healing humans, hanging out with humans, talking to humans. I've always been very like people oriented. What BLM did was really hone in my passions, because I never actually knew what I wanted to do with my life. Music is that's for me. Like, I'm a musician because I was born to do it. Like Mez Mora, my name literally means music. And my last name Tekeste is like, roughly means like has been prophesied. So like my name is literally music has been prophesied. And so that's cool. And there's that journey and that's awesome. But I'm here for, like, music is a tool to achieve the bigger, you feel me? Like, it's,
Yes.
music is a part of it. Music is not it. And so since BLM, the first couple of weeks was very intense, like a lot of intense energy. Just a lot of people coming at me and arguing, and it was very intense. But in that intensity, I found my peace, because I found that every time I was talking to an adult, there was more argumentative energy coming at me. And whenever I talk to like children or young adults, young like kids, they just listen. And it's not because they just listen, but it's just like a child is actually willing to discuss and ask questions and learn about themselves and the world around them. So I just realized like my calling is to be in the youth sector. Like that's my call. I'm meant to be there. And my best friend John Vake, excuse me, he's a fighter out of City Kickboxing, and he's been doing youth work for the last like 3 years. Like literally he'll pick up a bunch of kids from a high school, he'll jump in a gym with them, and he'll just coach them every week, and he'll mentor them, through words and through guidance. He'll like actually be like neuro-linguistically programming how they think. But he teaches these kids MMA, man. And it's really cool to see the engagement that it has, because when you tell a kid that doesn't like to listen and is naughty and is like me, like I was that kid, when you throw a left, throw a right, like you're cognitively rewiring them to just listen, and all these little things I've just observed. And I was like, man, your program is actually phenomenal, dude. Do you have a spiritual aspect to it or an emotional aspect to it, where you talk about feelings and you do breath work and meditation or any of that stuff? And there wasn't an element. So we decided to come together and just create a full 360 well-being program. And we find out in a week if we get like a crazy amount of funding for it. Like we just applied for funding a month ago. And I'm really looking forward to that, because I feel like the youth is really where I should be investing my time. I can't tell anyone else what to do, but the youth is where it's at, man. If we can alter the way that they're growing up, maybe in like 10 years from now, this place could be a little bit different. That's the goal.
And who would you say would be your biggest inspiration for everything that you're doing now, from youth work to the music? Do you have any sources of inspiration, or those you truly look up to?
Forever my parents, man.
Yes.
My parents are so gifted, like it's crazy. Like our whole family's blessed, bro. Like my mom sings, my dad plays guitar and piano. Like they're the most beautiful human beings I've ever seen. They're like your Mother Teresa's and Martin Luther King's. They got that spirit, bro. Like they got energy. Like they walk in the room and there's just the frequency raises. It's love. They're powerful beings. They have nothing but love in their hearts. Super amazingly talented people. But they're always my inspiration, man. Like, out here, there's people that inspire me and stuff, but I actually don't know them. Like musically, I could say, Kanye and Lauryn Hill and these people, and like they're beautiful people, and J. Cole and stuff like that's my idols, but I don't know them. Like I don't actually see how you operate every day. I actually don't know who you are. All I know you through is that screen, so it's not actually a real, connection or relationship. But honestly, man, my parents, my rock, and if I can attain, half the level of awesomeness that they are before I die, then I've lived well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I just want to let our viewers know that this is just a reminder. If you have any questions for Mez during this interview, we'll be answering them shortly or as soon as we can. So actually, Mez, I'm just going to take a quick glance at my phone to see if any questions have popped up.
Easy.
Okay. So, let me see. When I'm waiting to get questions from the team, I do want to know, because I think our viewers would love to hear about just more about the breath work that you do. And I know for every vocal artist, breath work is essential for warm-ups. So what is your usual process, especially before you go on stage? Would you like to share with our viewers an example of that?
Yeah, sure. So honestly, breathwork's quite a buzzy topic, because it's so like we all breathe, because we're born. Like it's just, you just naturally do it. You know what to do. But the way that we breathe and the intention behind the breathing is something that is super cool to focus on. I don't know. With breathwork, for me, it depends what mood you're in and what you're trying to accomplish. Like before I go on stage, I'll do like a full on breathwork. Like I'll do like a proper 3 rounds. But do you know what? I mean, I don't know. Do your listeners, you know, I don't know what your demographic is, but are they the type to understand breath work, or should we get a little bit into that? Or
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be very interested. Yeah, I think our viewers will be interested in trying
okay,
to.
so as humans, we always walk around with such low levels of oxygen in our body. When we breathe at such shallow rates up here in the upper quartile of our lungs, right? And then this is what leads to like depression or like anxiety or stress, because you just don't have enough oxygen in your body. Like you see yourself like a machine, like a computer. You need to be ventilated. You need to have oxygen coming in and out. You know, photons, prana, love, God, Allah, whatever you believe in, is in this energetic field around you, in the space around you and within you. And so with oxygen, that ebb and flow is the cycle that connects the two, man. You know, the mind, the body, and the spirit. You connect through your breath. And so I got into breath work through a couple of my best friends, Jesse Wynyard and Isaac Girelli. His artist name is Wally Ibex. And so when I got into breath work, it was literally like, oh yeah, cool. I look up to these guys. They're pretty cool. They think it's cool. So I'll do it with them, you know? Why not? It's a bit of breathing. It's how it started. And then when you actually once you start breath work and actually experience the physiological effects in your body, it's a trip, man, because you actually get addicted to it, because you realize like, dude, I can naturally increase my serotonin levels and release dopamine in my body. I can reach euphoria and happiness. I can let go of cluttered thought. I can be present, aligned, and be at peace just through breathing, deep diaphragmatic breathing for X amount of time. Now, just to give you guys a quick example, we're going to do something called 10, 20, 30. Is that cool with you?
Yes, it's perfect. Yep. And if viewers, feel free, if you do want to join along, you can.
I highly recommend you do, guys. Honestly, if you got a phone, just put it down somewhere. If you're on a computer, that's great. But honestly, tap in with us. This is going to be really cool. 10, 20, 30 is just, we're going to do 10 breaths. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do those breaths. We're going to do 10 very deep breaths. Then we're going to hold our breath for 10 seconds. Then we're going to do 20 deep breaths, hold our breath for 10 seconds. Then we're going to do 30 deep breaths. And at the end of that 30, we'll just sit with that and see how long you hold your breath, because you'll realize that the more oxygenated you are and the more oxygen levels you have in your body, you actually don't need to breathe. Like you're good, you know? And so let's try that. Let's tap in together. Just to give you an example, when you breathe in, don't breathe here. You want to breathe down here. Okay? So just to get into it, guys, just to warm up first, we're just going to do 10 really slow breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. But before we do that, just make sure your posture is straight. You can put your arms on your knees like this, with your palms facing up on your thighs, your knees, or you can have them one on top of each other, just down here by the navel. It's really up to you. It's whatever you find most comfortable. However, do one of those. When you anatomically breathe, hands facing down, you actually breathe deeper with your palms facing up, which is interesting. But let's do that together, guys. I want you to just breathe in through the nose, into the belly, and then when you breathe out, you just sigh it out. Cool? Should we go together? Just 10 breaths. Easy, when you're ready. Just close your eyes and really tap in to that space within yourself. In through the nose. If your nose is blocked like mine, you can breathe in through the mouth. And just sigh into the relaxation. It may seem a bit weird, uncomfortable. There might be some resistance. This may seem funny to you, but I promise you, if you give yourself an opportunity to spend time with yourself with your eyes closed, following my voice as your guide, you will experience something really cool. Consistency is key with how you're breathing. Keep your pace in through the nose or in through the mouth. Fill up your stomach. Out. That's it. Just with ease. You see how your shoulders are rising when you breathe? Mm-hmm. Breathe into your belly. Feel your stomach relax and distend as you breathe in. Give me 5 more of those. And then we'll get into the 10, 10, 20, 20. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to start a pace for you after these next couple of breaths. I'm going to start a certain way of breathing. In through the mouth, you have to breathe through your mouth this time. In through the mouth, out through the mouth. Follow my pace. I'll count you down. 10 breaths. Follow that pace. Three more. After this last breath, all the way in, release. And after you release, just stay at peace and hold your breath. Try to stay with your eyes closed in this space. Clear all thought. Forget the people watching this. Forget everybody around you. And just literally observe your inner self. The next 20 breaths, we're going to tap in a little bit faster, a little bit deeper.
Thank you, Mez. But I'm sorry to cut you off. Thank you so much for that. Only because of time, I think we should probably jump into the questions from viewers.
No,
but thank you so much for leading us through those 10 breaths.
Not a problem.
Yeah, that was definitely good. And I think we do have some questions rolling in. So let me go ahead and look at my phone really quickly.
Just by the way, for those of you who actually were tapping in, you actually want to do a breath work uninterrupted and really tap into that space, feel free to reach out to me. We can really tap in.
That's perfect. Thank you for that, Mez. Okay. Question. What's some advice you would give to young Black creatives wanting to start music?
Wow. I developed quite a few artists. I manage a couple, and I actually develop quite a lot of people. The main thing, honestly, is get to know yourself, know thyself, and know it well. Because why is a big question. Like, why do you want to do music? Is it because it's cool and there's all these rappers with chains and money and is that why? Because if so, you probably shouldn't make music. I mean, like, hey, don't get me wrong. You can do what you want, like you can, but your music probably won't have substance, depth, or any merit. If that is your motive. Don't get me wrong. Some people are super fire still with those motives, but honestly, just know yourself, man. Explore yourself. That microphone, it's not a microphone, it's a mirror. It's going to really show you who you are. You may think you're all this and all that, and then the moment you step in front of a mic and deliver and try to speak your truth, you'll be able to hear back in your tone how authentic you are, how real you are. When people say I want to make music, that's my first question. It's just why? Because if you actually don't know yourself and aren't willing to be self-aware of the pain that is within your body and your experiences and your history, and just if you're not actually willing to heal yourself through the process of music and actually do it for deeper reasons than money or fame, then it's not going to work out, man. Whatever is going to allow you to be the best human being you can be, I think that's the advice I would give. But have a good team around you. If you do pursue music, team is very important. If you try to be a one man band, that's fine. But it's really important to have a network of people who see the vision, who all have a part to play for that vision. There's no ego in it. It's not about me or you who makes it for us. It's just genuine, like, can we create the best sound as a team? Get yourself somebody who's willing to learn how to be an engineer, someone who's willing to learn how to produce, and just spend time on it, man. 10,000 hour rule. If you spend 10,000 hours on something, you'll master it. So that's my advice, man. Just get a team, really find out why you're doing it, and put 10,000 hours in.
Thank you. And can you kind of give the viewer maybe just like a visual or just an example of how it was for you growing up and becoming who you are now, especially in regards to your art?
I'm sorry, I don't catch that. What do you mean? Sorry.
So basically, what was the process like growing up for you? Getting into your art, getting into music. How many hours did you put in? What did that kind of look like for you?
Are we speaking about just music here?
Yeah, just music, or just who you are as a person as well in general. So
I'm 28 years old. I started messing around with music at like 16, 17. I tapped into it properly at the age of like 20, 21. So it's been over a decade of just like exploring this route, and I feel like that's what it takes. Like, if you really want to do something special and really find yourself, and I don't know, man, I have this ability to manifest my reality. You know, we all do. I'm just tapped into it, and I literally see it all. I've seen it since I was a kid. When I was literally like 2, 3 years old, I remember having, I mean, you could call them visions or daydreaming, you know, but I'd literally see myself in front of just multitudes of people on a stage. And I don't know why. I saw that as a kid. I don't know why. It was always a premonition. It was just always in here. I was I became fluent in English as my fourth language by the age of 3. So like I had a really sharp mind as a kid, you know. And I led a funeral when I was 2, 3 years old. When I was 3 years old. Like no cap, I'm not playing you. My father can attest to that. I was always called to do this. But the process is not easy, man. This isn't, you know, for some people it is, and that's, you know, they're blessed and that's awesome. For some people, they just pick up a mic, they jump in as like, you know, you look at Pop Smoke, for example. He was just a ghetto dude, and he was just in the studio, and Herbo G passed out. And so I think it's Herbo G, yeah, he passed out, and there was just the studio there, so he decided to have a bit of fun. Next thing you know, Pop Smoke took over the whole game within the space of a year, 2 years, you know? And that's awesome. That's super, super. My journey was not like that. You know, my journey is nothing like that. Mine is very long, stretched out, because I feel like the universe is trying to make sure I have character instead of be one. You know, it's making sure that I'm ready for the blessings that are coming my way. But otherwise, I'll throw them all away and waste them, because I'm here for something bigger than what I think I'm here for. And so I think it's just the universe has been priming me for it. And it's been rough, man. It's been hectic. Like the last 10 years, I've had so many heartbreaks, so much letdowns. Um, it's not an easy game, man. This is tough, you know, but it's great resilience training. And if you can defeat this, if you can go up against the odds and really just back yourself and trust yourself and spend time loving yourself and loving your art and expanding and really just being into it 100%, bro, the experience is rewarding, man. It really is. This defined me. This process made me who I am.
I'm pretty sure all of our viewers really appreciate that. And I know we're getting cut close on time, but before we wrap up today, I would love for you to share a piece of advice that can perhaps resonate with our viewers today that have tuned in. Maybe it's a hopeful word, maybe it's a quote, maybe it's a sentence or two, just something that can kind of give our viewers hope going forward, especially with everything going on with COVID-19, the protests. So anything that you'd like to say?
Again, it just keeps going back to know thyself. Really tap into yourself. This problem that like everything we're seeing on the planet right now is an indication and a reflection of what's happening inside every single human. Inside of us, there's a lot of neglected aspects of self, like neglected aspects of society. And when you ignore it for so long, it boils up and boils up and boils up, and then it becomes chaos. And that's actually what we're seeing, is a world that has neglected or ignored self for so long, and just ignored self for so long, that out here now, we're seeing a literally mirror effect of what's inside us. So honestly, the only advice I can give is whatever you believe in, whatever God you believe in, whatever, you know, if you don't believe it, whatever you believe in, it's just a perspective. And if, let's just say, you knew half of everything there is to know in the known universe, there's potential that what you don't believe in could be real in the other half. So what we need to do as humans is, instead of argue with each other, just learn from each other. I actually don't have to agree with you. Like I could say you're completely wrong in my world. I don't think you're right, but you have the right for me to listen to you. I mean, you know, I should listen to you and just learn from that, and we can disagree. But this intense energy right now that everyone's just arguing online and spinning, honestly, get the, oh, my sword, Diane.
remember what I told you.
No, I'm saying. But get off this stuff. Like it's cool. Choose what you're taking in. Choose what you watch. Choose what you listen to. Choose what you're talking about. Like literally take control of your life, and genuinely make sure that you're surrounded by beautiful frequencies and vibrations, from people to music. I mean, that's it, man. It's really that simple, because if you do that and nurture yourself, you can nurture other people. But if you neglect self and hate self, then you can't love anyone, man.
So we do actually have a very great question. One viewer would like to know, if you feel comfortable, would you like to give a snippet of your new track coming up?
How do we do that? How does that, if I play something here, can everyone properly hear it?
I think they kind of want you to sing, or I think that's how it seems like the question was phrased. Can you sing a tune or something, or from your new track, or kind of putting you on the spot here.
I don't mind singing. I mean, I'm comfortable. I haven't done my vocal warm up, so my throat's a bit raw. Just
Okay. Yeah. Well, we still have some time, so we would really love it.
production on that. So I'm currently working with an engineer called Mike Snell. He's based over in the States. Oh, your internet connection is unstable. Are we good? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you and I can hear you as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he's honestly like, he's phenomenal, man. I've never heard my voice or any of my songs sound like how Will Cry sounds. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. I'm happy to sing. Honestly, I don't mind. Like, I have no shame. Like, I'll go off on my voice might break and stuff, but I'm really comfortable. I don't mind. You guys want me to sing?
Yes, please go ahead. We have about 3 more minutes, so maybe just like a quick snippet. Yeah. Good.
Man, I don't even know what to sing for you guys, man. I'm having a look. I'm having a look through my playlist. If I play something on here, can they hear it?
I don't. Possibly. Let's try it out and see.
Let's try. Can you hear that?
I mean, I can hear it.
Everybody comment if you can hear it. If you can't, it's cool.
It gotta take a lot of time. I've been waiting for you, babe. It's hard for me to lie. See, I can do this every day.
Can we just get some comments to see if that actually works?
I'm trying to get Shalane to see if she's. Man, I'm trying to. Yes, they can hear it.
Oh, they can. Awesome. Yep. Cool. So guys, this is a little demo song I'm working on at the moment. It was written by me and my younger cousin YB, Yusuf. Cool. This is the demo at the moment, but enjoy, man.
When they talk about how you do that every day. They gotta take a lot of time. I've been waiting for you, babe. It's hard for me to lie. See, I can do this every day. I'd rather know that you were mine. You promised you would always stay. I wish I knew that you were mine. Cause you up and walked away, baby. Left me on my own. I woke up alone today and it broke my heart. Now I don't know how I can love you. I'll be rolling it up to forget you. I've been sinking deep under the waters. I remember we were drowning in the covers. It's a breakfast of bed, being lovers. I've been sinking deep under the waters. I remember we were drowning in the covers. Eating breakfast in bed, being lovers. I thought you wanted real. Thought you wanted better. You wound up with a lame. I guess you learned your lesson. Maybe you forgot about feel. But I remember all the letters. Nothing's ever been the same since. I can never really blame you. Do you think maybe I should face it alone? I've been wasted. I've been all on my own. A little bit of vodka mixed up and ice. A little bit of Mary switched up the vibe. A little bit of do. A little bit of you to make me right.
Love it.
We keep that going, but I mean, honestly, I've got like 200-300 demos, bro. So like we can
That is great. But well, it's almost time to wrap up. And thank you so much, Mez. It's been such an honor chatting with you today, and I'm sure our viewers greatly appreciated it. Again, thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Be sure to catch us live next Sunday with Janina Nanaya, an interdisciplinary artist with roots from Ghana, whose practice also manifests as Nyame Dua, a sharing of tarot and ancestral communications. Until next Sunday, 12 p.m. New Zealand time, my name is Diane Wesh, and you have been watching the BlackOut series. Ka kite.